They say real love doesn't always shout. It shows up in silence. Not in grand speeches, not in poetic texts, not even in those I love you moments we replay in our heads. Real love reveals itself in the quiet, everyday things. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice it. Because when a man loves you, truly loves you, you don't have to beg, ask, or wonder. His actions will whisper everything his mouth doesn't say. He might never come out and confess it in a dramatic way. He may not be the most romantic with words, or the type to make promises under the stars. But he'll do something even more powerful. He'll show you that you're his soft spot. What does that mean? It means you're the person he protects, even when he's breaking. It means you're the only one who can calm his storm. It means he listens harder when you're quiet and speaks softer when you're hurting. He might not talk about love all day long, but everything he does will point straight to you. And no, it's not always obvious. That's what makes it real. Sometimes it's in the way he answers your call during a busy meeting. Sometimes it's the way he buys something small that reminded him of you. Sometimes it's the way he sits with you in silence. Not to fix, but to feel. You don't need to look for fireworks. You need to look for the way he looks at you when you're not watching. The way he steps in when you're anxious. The way he lets go of his ego just to make sure you're okay. Because when you're someone's soft spot, he doesn't just love you, he feels you. And today, I'm going to show you 15 powerful, silent signs that prove you're not just someone in his life. You're the one his heart leans toward, even when words fall short. So if you've ever found yourself wondering, does he really love me? Or am I just imagining it? Watch closely, because real love doesn't hide. It just speaks in a language only the heart understands. 1. He never gets mad at you, even when he's angry at the world. When a man truly sees you as his soft spot, something shifts in the way he handles his emotions around you. No matter how frustrated, stressed, or angry he may be at the world, he holds back when it comes to you. It's not about pretending to be calm or faking peace. It's something deeper. You become the one person he doesn't want to hurt, even by accident. He could be dealing with chaos, work pressure, arguments, disappointment, or personal loss. But the moment he's with you, his tone softens, his words are careful, his presence feels safer. Even when everything else is falling apart, he won't raise his voice, throw blame, or let his frustration spill onto you. That's because, in his mind, you're the one place he doesn't want to bring his storm. You are his calm. He may stay quiet instead of snapping. He might leave the room, take a breath, or delay the conversation, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much to let his anger touch you. That restraint, that pause, that patience, it all comes from a place of deep emotional value. Being someone's soft spot doesn't mean he's perfect. It means that no matter how messy his world gets, he consciously chooses to protect your peace, even when he can't protect his own. You're not the outlet for his anger. You're the escape from it. And that, in a world full of noise and ego, is a rare kind of love. 2. He remembers the little things you say in passing. When a man truly cares for you, when you're his soft spot, he doesn't just hear you, he listens. Not just to the big dramatic moments, but to the smallest, most fleeting things you say without even realizing it. Maybe you mentioned a favorite snack once while walking by a store, or casually said you love the sound of rain. You might not even remember saying it, but he does. These little things aren't little to him. They're details he files away because they came from you. And to him, everything about you matters, even the pieces you think no one notices. Days or weeks later, he might surprise you with your favorite chocolate bar, or text you when it starts to rain, just to say he thought of you. You never asked him to remember, but he did, because it mattered to you. This kind of remembering isn't about effort, it's about intention. His brain doesn't treat your words like background noise. Instead, your voice becomes a part of his world, something he carries with him, even when you're not around. And the sweetest part is, he doesn't do it to impress you. He does it because those pieces of you have become precious to him. When you're someone's soft spot, even your quietest sentences leave echoes, and he listens not to reply, not to analyze, but because he genuinely wants to know what makes you happy, what makes you feel seen. In a world where people forget birthdays and promises, someone who remembers the things you barely said, that's someone who holds your heart gently. 3. He gets quiet when you're upset and listens more. When you're upset and he suddenly goes quiet, it's not because he doesn't care. It's because he cares more than he knows how to say. A man who sees you as his soft spot doesn't rush to speak when you're hurting. He doesn't try to fix everything with advice or dismiss your feelings with solutions. Instead, he pauses, he listens, and he makes space for your emotions without interrupting them. That silence isn't distance, it's presence. It's him choosing to feel what you feel, to hold the weight of your sadness without making it about him. Because in that moment, his priority isn't to be right, it's to be kind. He might not have all the words, but he gives you something even more valuable. His full attention, his quiet support, his steady energy. When someone truly values you, they understand that being heard is sometimes more powerful than being helped. He knows your pain isn't always something to solve, it's something to sit with. So he sits, quietly, patiently, listening with his eyes and his heart. And maybe later, when you've said what you needed to, he speaks, gently, with softness, not to shift the mood, but to remind you, I'm here. You don't have to carry this alone. In a loud world full of quick opinions and careless distractions, a man who chooses silence when you're breaking down is showing you love in one of its purest forms. He's not trying to fix you. He's just staying by your side until you feel whole again. 4. He always checks if you've eaten. When a man constantly checks if you've eaten, it may seem like a simple question, but it speaks volumes about how deeply he cares. It's not just about food. It's about your well-being, your health, and your comfort. In his mind, making sure you're okay, even in the smallest, most basic way, is a form of love. He's not asking because he's being nosy or controlling. He's asking because your care has become part of his instinct. Maybe he knows you forget meals when you're busy. Maybe he senses when your energy is low. Or maybe he just wants to feel close to you in the most human, nurturing way possible. Food, after all, is one of the oldest forms of care. And when you matter to him, making sure you're nourished becomes his quiet way of saying, you matter to me. It's especially telling when he asks during random parts of the day, not just at lunch or dinner, but in the middle of a stressful conversation, or late at night when you're venting about your day. That small question, did you eat, carries with it the deeper meaning, I'm thinking about you. I want you to take care of yourself. And most of all, you're not alone. He might not always know how to say everything he feels. He might not have the perfect words for love or emotion. But in that one question, asked with genuine concern, he's showing you that your well-being is part of his daily thoughts. That kind of love doesn't always come wrapped in flowers or grand gestures. It comes in simple, gentle check-ins that say, I'm here and I care. 5. He answers your calls, even in the middle of something important. When a man answers your call in the middle of something important, it reveals a powerful truth. You are a priority, not a distraction. It doesn't matter if he's in a meeting, surrounded by people, or deep into something that demands his attention. The moment your name appears on his screen, his focus shifts. And not because he has to, but because he wants to. He might glance around, step outside, or excuse himself quietly, but he picks up Even if it's just to say, "I'm busy right now, but I'll call you back." He still makes that effort. That small moment tells you everything. You're not an afterthought. You're someone who matters enough to interrupt his world. In a time where people let calls ring out and texts go unread for hours, someone who answers in the middle of their day is showing something rare, presence. And when it's consistent, not just once or twice, it shows emotional availability. He's not afraid of being seen choosing you. He's not measuring whether your call is urgent enough. In his eyes, you don't need a reason. You just need him. You might not always realize it, but that choice, to pause life for you, is a quiet kind of love. It says, "I don't know what you need yet, but I'm here anyway." That one ring he picks up in the middle of chaos might be his way of telling you, without any fancy words, "You're worth everything I'm doing right now, and more." 6. He lets you win arguments he could easily win. When a man lets you win arguments he could easily win, it's not because he's weak or doesn't have a point to make. It's because you matter more than being right. In moments of tension or disagreement, he chooses peace over ego. He knows he could push harder, prove his side, or pick apart your reasoning. But he doesn't. Not because he's giving up, but because he's giving in to something more important, you. For him, being right isn't worth making you feel small or unheard. He sees your emotions before he sees the debate. He understands that sometimes arguments aren't about logic. They're about hurt, misunderstanding, or just needing to feel seen. And when he loves you deeply, he listens beyond the words. He hears the frustration underneath. He senses the vulnerability, so he softens. He might nod when he disagrees, or stay quiet when he could counter. Not because he's avoiding conflict, but because he's protecting the connection. To him, the goal isn't to win, it's to keep the bond intact. It's his way of saying, "I'd rather lose this fight than lose your smile." That's not surrender, that's emotional maturity. In a world full of people who argue to feel powerful, a man who chooses calm, who steps back even when he has every right to step forward, that's someone who values your heart more than his pride. And when you're someone's soft spot, you'll notice this pattern again and again. He doesn't fight you, he fights for you, even when the battle is with his own pride. 7. He shows up without you asking. When a man shows up without you asking, it's one of the purest signs that you're his soft spot. He doesn't wait for a text, a reminder, or a plea. He senses when you need him, and he appears, quietly, consistently, without making it a big deal. Whether you're having a tough day, going through something you barely talked about, or simply feeling off, he notices. And instead of saying, "Let me know if you need anything," he just comes. There's a certain kind of love that doesn't ask for permission to care. It just acts. That's the kind of love he carries for you. You could be emotionally exhausted, dealing with family stress, or just sitting silently in your own thoughts. And suddenly, he's there. Maybe with your favorite drink, maybe with no words at all. Just presence. Because sometimes, showing up doesn't mean fixing anything. It just means being there. He doesn't make you feel like a burden. He doesn't wait until you reach a breaking point. He shows up in the quiet moments, the in-betweens, the days when even you didn't know you needed someone. And he does it not to be praised, not to earn anything, but because your comfort matters to him. Your peace is important. This kind of presence isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand attention, but it speaks volumes. It says, "I see you, I feel you, I'm with you." When someone shows up unasked, unprompted, and unconditionally, it's not obligation. It's love at its most honest and unspoken form. 8. He can't stay mad at you for long. When a man can't stay mad at you for long, it's not because he's ignoring what happened or pretending everything is fine. It's because his love for you is stronger than his pride. Even when he's hurt, disappointed, or frustrated, something inside him just doesn't let the anger sit. His heart softens quicker than his mind can argue. And no matter how serious the fight was, he finds himself missing you before the silence even settles. It's not that he forgets what went wrong, it's that he doesn't want to stay in a place where you feel distant from him. Being upset with you feels unnatural to him. Coldness doesn't suit the warmth he feels for you. He may try to stay mad, may even convince himself for a moment that he has a reason, but the moment he sees your face, hears your voice, or remembers something sweet, the anger fades like it never belonged. This isn't weakness. It's love wrapped in maturity. It's someone who values connection more than control. Someone who doesn't want to punish you with silence or win some emotional battle. He just wants things to feel right between you again. So he reaches out. He sends a message. He says your name softer than before. And when that happens, it's not just about the end of a fight. It's a quiet reminder that in his heart, you always come first. That even when he's upset, he doesn't want to push you away. He wants to find his way back. Because for him, being mad at the person he cares about the most isn't just difficult, it's unbearable. 9. He talks about you to his friends, proudly. When a man talks about you to his friends, proudly, it's a beautiful sign that he's not just in love with you, he's proud of being in love with you. It's easy to tell someone you care about them in private, but when he brings your name into rooms you're not in, and he speaks with that soft grin or spark in his tone, it means you're not just in his heart, you're part of his identity. He doesn't just mention you casually, he shares stories, moments, even your smallest victories. Maybe he tells them how driven you are, how you always remember his favorite things, or how you light up a room. It could be something as simple as, "She helped me with this," or "You should have seen the look on her face." But beneath those words is deep admiration, a kind that doesn't fade when he's around others. It's in those little moments you don't see, when his friends smile knowingly because they've heard about you so many times, when they say, "You must be the one he's always talking about." That's when you realize he doesn't just love you quietly, he carries you with him, in his conversations, in his pride, in the way he represents you to the world. And the most touching part? He's not doing it for praise or validation. He's doing it because he genuinely sees you as someone worth showing off, not just for your beauty or presence, but for who you are. When a man includes you in his world like that, with joy and pride, it means you're not just someone he's with, you're someone he believes in. 10. He changes his mood based on how you feel. When a man's mood shifts based on how you feel, it's not just empathy, it's emotional connection on a deeper level. He could be having a great day, full of energy and smiles, but the moment he senses that something's off with you, his energy changes. Your emotions affect him because your heart is tied to his. He feels your joy like a sunrise and your sadness like a shadow. He doesn't have to be told that you're upset. He notices the silence in your voice, the hesitation in your words, the way your eyes don't meet his like they usually do. And suddenly, it doesn't matter how light or cheerful he felt. If you're not okay, he's not okay. It's not because he's emotionally unstable, but because you matter more than his own mood in that moment. He's not trying to take over your emotions or make the situation about himself. He simply mirrors your state because your well-being has become part of his own. If you're happy, his laughter gets louder. If you're anxious, his tone calms down. If you're hurting, he becomes gentler, softer in presence, more protective in tone. This isn't performative, it's instinct. And sometimes he may not even realize he's doing it. That's the beauty of being someone's soft spot. Your energy becomes a part of their emotional compass. He doesn't just care about how you feel. He feels it with you. Not to fix, not to control, but simply to be aligned with you, because your emotional world is one he doesn't want to watch from afar. He wants to walk in it, beside you, every step of the way. 11. He includes you in his future plans. When a man includes you in his future plans, it means he's not just living in the moment. He's building a world where you belong. He talks about things that haven't happened yet, but when he does, you're already part of the picture. It's not dramatic or forced. It comes out naturally, like second nature. He might say things like, when we travel next summer, or one day, when we have our own place, without even thinking twice. And that's the point. It's effortless. You're not an option he's still deciding on. You're already woven into the story he's imagining. It could be small things, like inviting you to a wedding months away, or big things, like discussing where to live, how many kids to have, or what kind of life he wants to build. But what matters most is that he's using words like we, us, and our, not I or me. It shows a sense of emotional investment that goes beyond just liking you. It means he sees stability in your presence, comfort in your companionship, and possibility in your love. He's not planning around you, he's planning with you. Your dreams matter, your preferences matter. He's not looking for a life partner in theory. He's already chosen you in practice. And the beautiful part is, he doesn't always sit you down and announce these things. They slip out in late-night conversations, in small jokes, in future scenarios you never asked for. But he offers them anyway, because to him, the future doesn't feel complete without you in it. That's more than love. That's vision. 12. He notices what makes you anxious and protects you from it. When a man notices what makes you anxious and quietly protects you from it, it's a rare and tender kind of love. He doesn't need you to explain every fear, every trigger, every discomfort. He watches, he listens, he learns. And over time, he starts to move in ways that make you feel safer, even before you realize why. Maybe he sees how your hands tighten when you're in crowded places, so he instinctively stays closer, making space for you. Maybe he notices how certain topics make you go quiet, so he gently steers the conversation away. He doesn't call attention to it. He doesn't make it a dramatic gesture. He just shifts things silently, calmly, with deep care. You don't have to spell everything out for him. He pays attention to the unsaid. He notices how your smile fades when you're overwhelmed, or how your voice changes when you're uncomfortable. And instead of brushing it off or telling you to calm down, he becomes a shield between you and the things that unsettle you. He doesn't see your anxiety as a weakness to fix. He sees it as part of the person he loves. And loving you means learning how to move gently around the spaces that hurt. He doesn't make you feel fragile. He makes you feel protected. Not because you can't handle life on your own, but because he wants to be the one who makes it a little easier. That kind of attention, that emotional effort, is quiet but powerful. It says, I see you, I get you, and I'm here. Not just when it's easy, but when your world feels heavy. That's not just love, that's devotion. 13. He buys you things that remind him of you, not just expensive gifts. When a man buys you things that remind him of you, not just flashy or expensive gifts, it shows a deep, personal kind of affection. He's not trying to impress you with price tags or grand gestures. He's paying attention to you, your quirks, your favorites, the little things you smile at in passing. And when something makes him think of you, no matter how small or random, he gets it. Because in that moment, your presence is with him even when you're not there. Maybe it's a book you once mentioned, a flower you said you liked when walking by a street stall, or a mug with a quote that sounds like something you'd say. These gifts aren't about the object, they're about the meaning behind them. They're tiny reflections of how often you cross his mind, even in the ordinary moments of his day. He's not shopping for you like he's checking a box. He's collecting moments, symbols, memories that feel like you. And when he gives them to you, he's not saying, "Look what I bought." He's saying, "I saw this and I felt you in it." That kind of giving comes from attention, not obligation, from love, not performance. It's never really about the gift. It's about the fact that something reminded him of you and he wanted to keep that moment alive. So when he brings you that small, thoughtful item, he's giving you more than a thing. He's giving you proof that you're always living in some quiet corner of his mind. And that's the kind of gift that lingers. 14. He respects your silence. When a man respects your silence, it means he understands a part of you that many overlook. He doesn't rush to fill the quiet. He doesn't take your stillness as rejection or your quiet moments as something broken to fix. Instead, he stays present, with patience, not pressure. He allows you to be with your thoughts, your emotions, your stillness, without demanding a version of you that smiles on cue or speaks when you're not ready. Some people get uncomfortable with silence, but not him. When he truly cares, he sees the value in your pauses. He knows that not everything needs to be said to be felt, that sometimes the most intimate moments happen without a single word. And instead of asking, "What's wrong?" over and over, he simply stays next to you, beside you, offering calm with his presence. He learns the language of your silence. He can tell the difference between a peaceful quiet and a heavy one. And when it's heavy, he doesn't force you to speak. He lets you know, gently, subtly, that he's there whenever you're ready. No clocks ticking, no expectations. That kind of understanding is rare. It means he's not just listening to your words, he's listening to you, your energy, your pace, your way of processing the world. He's not trying to change you. He's giving you space to just be. And in doing so, he's offering you something incredibly rare in love. Safety without noise. Comfort without demand. Love that waits quietly because it trusts you'll speak when you're ready and that your silence is not a threat but a part of who you are. 15. He treats your pain like it's his own. When a man treats your pain like it's his own, it reveals the deepest layers of emotional connection. He doesn't stand at a distance when you're hurting. He steps into that space with you, without hesitation. He doesn't try to compare or minimize what you feel. He simply feels it with you. Your tears sting his chest. Your struggles echo in his mind. He doesn't need to understand everything to know that if it matters to you, it matters to him. This kind of empathy isn't dramatic. It's not about big speeches or emotional breakdowns. It's in the way he holds your hand tighter when words fail you. It's in the way he watches you silently, eyes heavy, as if wishing he could pull the pain out of you and take it on himself. He carries it with you, not to be a hero, but because love makes your weight feel like his to share. He might check on you more, stay awake while you cry, rearrange his day just to sit next to you. And through it all, he never makes you feel like a burden. Your pain never exhausts him, it moves him. Because to him, your heart is sacred ground. If something is breaking it, he doesn't just care, he aches. He may not always know what to say, but he'll never leave you to suffer alone. His way of loving is not just in the good times, it's in the storms, in the quiet after the breakdown, in the fierce loyalty that says, "I can't fix it, but I'll never let you carry it alone." That's not just love, that soul-deep compassion.